looks so plain and boring because it's not Christmas anymore. And look at this shirt my sister got me for Christmas. I don't know if you can see. I'll show you at the end. Hey y'all, I am back and I have more of your Let's Not Meet stories that I'm really excited to read. But I'm very nervous to read, but I'm very excited to read. But we're gonna hop right into it. This first story says, the time me and my friends almost got kidnapped in the woods. Another reason I will never go to the woods. This story. Hi Courtney, my name is Nicole and I've been watching your videos for almost 5 years now. That's crazy. A little bit of background. I'm 21 years old. The story took place 3 years ago when I was a senior in high school. I was 18 and a small town photographer, just trying to make a little extra money and build my reputation as an aspiring professional photographer. I mainly did shoots for friends, but occasionally I'd like to step in front of the camera to spice up the gram. It was September 14th of 2018, second week of my senior year of high school. I don't really remember when or how the topic of visiting the location came up, but I remember that sometime over the summer, my friend, let's call her A's dad told her about a stone bridge in the woods that we should check out. He said it was super beautiful with vines and flowers and a little pond underneath. When she told me about it, I knew we had to check it out. She and my other best friend at the time, B, all loved photography. I'll admit, a stone bridge in the woods sounds creepy as f*** and a definite recipe for disaster, but at the time, it didn't register with us. We were more excited to go on an adventure than we were nervous. So one day at lunch, me, A, and B planned to visit the bridge that coming Friday. So the week goes by and it's Friday. We all left school in my car since I was the only one with a parking pass and started off on our adventure. A didn't know exactly where it was, only the general location, so we drove around a little bit until we found it. Mind you, this bridge isn't visible from the road, and it's technically on someone's property. So not only were we dangerously venturing into the hidden-ass woods, we were venturing into the hidden-ass woods while trespassing. Sorry if you hear a million different noises right now. I just let the dogs back inside. They have new collars, and they ring a lot, and then the cats are jumping up everywhere. Like, it's just mayhem. Growing up a goody two-shoes with a type A personality, I wasn't too keen on breaking the rules, but did it anyways so I didn't kill the mood. So like I said, we thought we found the bridge and I pulled off into a little patch of grass on the side of the road. I grabbed my camera, lenses, and my Polaroid and we headed into the woods in search of the bridge. There was a little dirt path, which we followed, leading to some makeshift stairs that were basically just some moss-covered logs shoved into the natural terrain of the ravine. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that this bridge went over a ravine with no good way to get to the top of the bridge. So we just decided to go into the ravine where the water and flowers were, since that was pretty much what we came for anyways. The next hour or so was uneventful. We each posed for photos, walked around, laughed, yada yada. You get the gist. After we had finished taking photos on my camera, we decided to walk back down towards the stairs to these tiny yellow flowers in the ravine so we could take some Polaroid pictures. Guys, I think we took maybe 2 before A lowered the camera from her eye and whispered, "I hear something." So obviously B and I are confused, giving her glares like, "What are you talking about?" And then, not even a second later, she looks at us deadpan and says, "I hear something in the trees." So I direct my gaze up towards the forest where we came from originally, and lo and behold, peeking out halfway from behind one of the trees was a man, staring at us blankly and silently. Guys, come on! He looked my dad's age, but my friends thought older. He was wearing a purple tie-dye shirt and blue jeans with a red ball cap on, and even better, he was holding something that looked to be a long stick or shovel or something. I couldn't tell, but whatever it was, it did not look harmless. So I make direct eye contact with this guy, and then I turn to A in response to her statement and go, "There's a man." Obviously, she and B follow my gaze and calmly turn back to face me. The look of pure terror rushes over both of their faces. My stomach dropped, but at this point, I was rationalizing the situation, thinking it was probably just a hiker or the owner of the house we were trespassing on. Because yeah, someone was definitely going to be hiking in the middle of fucking nowhere on a dirt path on someone's property at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, stalking 3 teenage girls halfway behind a tree. While I'm rationalizing the situation, B is very urgently telling me that it's time to go, and my dumbass is like, "Hold on, let me put away my camera first." And she's just continuously like, "No, Nicole, it's time to go." So I finally gave in, shoved my cameras in my bag, and we start to make our way up the ravine. But obviously we couldn't go up the way we came because there was a man standing there. So we crossed under the bridge and decided to take the long way up the side, the less steep part of the ravine. This video is chaotic. There's people here to landscape my front yard. My dogs were going crazy, so I'm going to try to get through this story and then I'm going to take a break. We quietly started walking up the hill and we all briefly stopped, crouched behind the bridge. At this point, it had finally dawned on me that we were probably in some deep shit, and my heart started beating 100 miles a minute as adrenaline coursed through my body. I turned around, still crouched in the dead leaves on the hill, and my friend whispered the words, "Do you see him?" to me. I peeked up above the bridge but couldn't see anything, couldn't hear anything, and had no idea where this man could possibly be. So I turned back to them and mouthed the words, "I don't know." At this point, we all seemed to agree that we had to just go, and all three of us began to book our asses up the ravine. The two of them were quite far in front of me, but I could see the exit, and I was making my way towards it. While I neared the top, sprinting through leaves and twigs and bushes, I lost my shoe, since I was wearing f***ing Birks, and yelled, "Are you f***ing serious?" before grabbing it and continuing to sprint out of the woods, shoe in hand. I literally had no sock on and was running through muddy leaves barefoot. I finally make it out, still yelling, and unlock my car as A and B were aggressively and anxiously pulling on the door handles. I ran like no tomorrow towards my car, and A flung open the driver's side door as I pretty much threw myself into the driver's seat. At this point, I'm shaking like I never had before, and as soon as I finally stick the keys in the ignition, I check my rearview mirror, and this guy comes running out of the woods, fist in air. So again, the dumbass in me jumps out as this creepy guy is chasing my car, and I'm like checking my mirrors and shit. At this point, he's gaining on us and has a large rod in his hand. My friends are screaming at me to just drive, so I finally floor it and the guy starts sprinting after my car as we drive away. Needless to say, we were pretty unnerved, all of us shaking, driving silently down the road for a couple minutes before B finally said, "What the f*** just happened?" Neither me or A replied. We drove for 40 minutes just to get away from those woods, and we had to sleep over that night because none of us wanted to sleep alone. I was so paranoid that the guy may have seen my license plate or had photos of us or had called the police or all three of those things. And that was the only thing we thought about that night. I was so freaked out that the guy had called the police that I tried to get A to find and tune into a police scanner. On our 40-minute drive, we discussed possible reasons for the guy being in those woods, bringing up recreation or the owner of the property, but none of us could come up with a plausible explanation for the events that night, besides the fact that that man's intentions were not good. To this day, none of our families know, and we have not seen the man. There's a good chance that he could have kidnapped, killed, God only knows what to us that day, which is so freaky to think about. So to the creepy guy stalking my friends and I in the woods, let's never meet again. That's another reason I will never go to the forest, I will never go camping, I will do nothing of the sort. Even if he was the owner of the property, what is the point of the large rod? Like maybe he thought you guys were like destroying his property or something and he was like, it was like a threat, like get out of my shit. But I feel like it's unnecessary. I feel like the rod was unnecessary. Okay, now I'm gonna go because there are people literally landscaping my front yard and it's loud. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's loud for me. So I'm gonna wait till they're done and they leave. I got an HOA violation. That's because I never get my yard done, ever. But I got an HOA violation, so I have to get, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna wait till my dogs fall asleep and they're done with the front yard so this video is no longer chaotic. I will be right back, but you won't even know that I'm gone. You won't even know. Okay, everything's done. Moving on to the next story, this one says, "My husband's murderer tried to kill me." Sorry if my English is bad. English is not my first language. Okay, for some background information, this happened 10 years ago now, but I still think about it a lot. I was 28 at the time, living alone. My husband was murdered 4 months prior, and they hadn't found his murderer. Also, I'm really bad at saying the word murder or murderer, so if I think they mention it a lot, so I'm sorry, I'm really bad at saying that word. At this time in my life, I was always on high alert because of what happened with my husband. I lived in a really small town, like really small. People have this misconception that small towns are always safe and cozy, but in my case, this is wrong. So the story starts in February. I work as a preschool teacher and I absolutely love my job. There were only 10 kids in my class that I taught, and one of the kids is my niece. I took her to my house after school on Wednesdays and Fridays. It was a Friday and school had just ended. It was around 1 p.m. I made sure everyone gets picked up okay and then put my niece in my car and head home. It takes about 35 minutes to drive from my school to the house, so I put the Frozen movie on my phone for my niece. After about 15 minutes of driving, I noticed that this black SUV car has been following me this whole way. I keep watching it follow us for about 5 more minutes before I took the classic 4 right turns. This is the first thing I thought to do because I've heard so many stalker stories. Whoever was in the car must have picked up on what I was doing because after the 3rd right turn, the car took off to the left. I convinced myself that I was just being paranoid because what happened with my husband was still pretty fresh in my mind. We ended up getting to my house, and on our way to the front door, my niece says, "Auntie MJ, look, it's Frozen lights." If you can't tell, she's obsessed with Frozen. I then look over to my neighbor's house who still had blue lights on their tree from Christmas. I then say, "Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I bet Elsa lives there." As I'm saying that, I see a black SUV driving extremely slow right by my house. I freaked out. I picked up my niece, unlocked the door, and ran inside. I was not going to take any chances of anything happening to my niece. I was scared to look out the window. So I just played with my niece until my sister came to pick her up. I didn't tell her what happened because I was too scared she wouldn't believe me. I said bye, then went to take a shower. It was around 8 p.m. and I was still pretty scared, but before I got in the shower, I decided to look out the window just to make sure the SUV was gone. It was, so I convinced myself once again that I was being paranoid. After a long shower, I get out and put on a movie in the living room. I then hear footsteps coming from the 2nd floor. I lived in a newer built home, so it's not like I just randomly hear creaks unless you're walking on it hard. I turn off the TV to hear better and the footsteps stop. I run into the guest room because it's the only room on the first floor. After about 5 minutes of hiding and not hearing anything, I decided to go look out the window. I open the door and walk to the front window. I see the black SUV. I run back to the guest room, lock the door, and call 911, and they arrive a few minutes later. When the police arrived, the SUV was gone. They still searched my house and asked me a bunch of questions. The police knew me from when my husband was murdered. Like I said, I live in a small town, so everyone knew about it. They knew I was really scared and tried to calm me down, and they swore to me that no one was in the house. There was no sign of forced entry and nothing was taken, so there was no reason for me to file a police report, but I still could if I wanted. They offered for a cop to stay in front of my house for the night, but I turned that down. I got the sense that they thought I was going crazy or something. You know, the chick who went crazy after her husband was murdered. I was really tired and wanted to go to bed at this point, so I let the police go and I got in bed. After about an hour of trying to fall asleep, I decided there was no hope. I got up, got in my car, and drove to the store. Decided to do a bit of grocery shopping even though it was like 1 a.m. I didn't care because I couldn't sleep. After about an hour grocery shopping, I decided to head home, and as I'm turning onto my street, I see firefighters turning onto my street as well. I let them go first, not thinking much of it. I turn shortly after them and see probably 10 police and firefighters parked in front of my house. My house was completely covered in 50-foot flames. I am in so much shock, I get out of my car and ask a cop what's going on. He then realized who I was and called more cops over. They covered me with a blanket and put me in an ambulance while a paramedic made sure I was fine. After that, they take me to the police station and ask me a billion questions. After 2 months of investigation, they figured out the cause of the fire was the stove. It had gasoline poured on it and matches lit. The stove was also on and it blew up, which is most likely why the flames were so big. They eventually caught the guy who did it, and he fessed up to the murder of my husband and 6 other people. He was trying to murder me that night. He thought I was in the house. If I hadn't left the house that night, I would have been dead. I don't have any relation to this man, and I have no idea why he murdered my late husband and why he tried to murder me. I don't know what we did to him. Since then, I have moved far, far away from that town. I have an amazing husband, 4-month-old twins, a son and daughter, and I couldn't be happier. I just can't imagine if I would have done anything different that night, where I would have been today, or if I would even be alive. So to the man who kidnapped and stabbed my late husband 168 times, followed me home and tried to burn me alive, let's not meet again. That is like, holy shit. I have no words. I have no words. The fact that you just like randomly decided to go to the grocery store at 1 a.m., it's like, someone was looking out for you. Someone was. This last story I'm gonna read says crazy ex-boyfriend turns stalker. Trigger warning, suicide, and SA. Like all of my other videos, if they go into too much detail with the SA, I'm not gonna read that part. So if you're like, just don't want to hear any mention of it, I really wouldn't listen to the story. Hi Courtney, I love your videos and have found comfort in not being alone with my experiences. This was my first real boyfriend who was a literal psychopath who I hope to never see again. For safety reasons, I'm changing names and excluding identifying details. His name was Jeremy and we met through a mutual friend. I caught him staring at me at the end of the year before and thought it was cute, so we started talking. I hung out with him in groups at first, but once we started officially dating, we spent a lot of time at each other's houses. Girl, there are so many red flags. Once we started seeing each other regularly over the summer, things were going well at first. But not so long after, he started getting really jealous and mean. He would spam my phone and wanted to know what I was doing all the time. Then one day, he up and disappeared. No, literally, didn't text me for 3 days. Then I get a text from his grandma, who he lives with, and she tells me he was staying with family last minute and forgot his phone. What teenager leaves behind their phone? The whole situation was super fishy, and all of his friends were acting very weird about it. Homeboy was gone for a whole ass month. So when he gets home, I'm like, where were you? How was your trip? He proceeds to break down and start crying and tells me he was in juvie. Juvie! He spins the whole story to make it seem like it wasn't his fault, but basically he got physically violent with his grandma and she called the cops. I saw the hole in the wall in his room the next time I was there, which confirms the whole thing in my mind. Now you may ask, why didn't you leave? Well, he threatened. So that just wasn't happening at the time. I was very naive. One of the crazy things that happened in this time was that he threatened to get me pregnant so I couldn't leave. He said he would poke holes in condoms and all sorts of shit and then would just say he was joking. I still have no clue what was true there, but scary to think about it now. He was verbally abusive at the time and sometimes physically as well. He would push me and leave minor bruises on me. The threat of worse was always there considering his violent history. So school starts and I'm fresh in a new high school. I'm super nervous. One of the big things at this time was homecoming, and he asked me to go with him. Jeremy tells me one of my friends tries to kiss him, which wasn't super surprising. Maddie tried to get with every guy in the group. Now at this time we were still hanging out in bigger groups with my friends, Maddie, Dan, Sophie, and Charlie. After one particular night, Sophie comes to me and tells me that Jeremy made a pass at her, and Maddie backs her up and says he did the same thing to her previously. The stories are simply not adding up, are they? Well, then I go through his phone, which shows a whole other story completely. According to text, they had hooked up multiple times and he cheated on me with other girls. Anyways, I tried to break up with him. Yet again, he threatens, so we are in this weird limbo place. I kept trying to distance myself, but anytime I would, he would start to threaten and harass me. At school, he would yell at me in front of others, grab and drag me by the arm in the halls, harass my friends, and follow me to class. I stayed at a friend's house one night and he lost it because he didn't know the girl I was with. He found her on Snapchat and told her she needed to back off. He was also texting me telling me I was a whore and accused me of cheating on him. He was texting non-stop. At one point I opened my phone to 50 texts. He told me to go get R-worded, and if someone else didn't do the job, then he would. That is disgusting. He also said things like, I know where you effing live and you should be more careful. I thought it was finally gonna die down when I blocked him. He came up to me at my locker. At this point, my friends were always with me because I was afraid to be alone. He started yelling at me and calling me a bitch. I had no right to block him and ignore him. He has DM'd me on Instagram and TikTok telling me to unblock him. When my friend Anna told him to back off, he told her to yeah, you know what I mean. From here on out, things got so much worse. He would either be super overly loving, telling me he missed me and wanted to get back together and he would do anything to be with me. When I would tell him no, he would call me a cunt, bitch, whore, and that I was fat and worthless. He started posting about me on social media and everyone at school knew about it. After he texted my mom, my mother, to tell her to keep his name out of my mouth, we had to go to the school. At this time, he also sent me emails over the school email system, so there was literal proof of him harassing me. Now getting into all the stalker behavior, I would say he's already showing some stalker behavior. He emailed me tons of times saying he needed to talk to me and that he was politely asking to be friends again. He created a Snapchat account in my name and sent inappropriate photos to my friends. He also made Snapchat accounts with the name, please unblock me. The school made us both sign a no contact order. Neither of us were allowed to make contact with the other person. This happened the day before break. My mom had held me home from school because I didn't feel safe. The day we went back, he immediately approached me and tried talking to me. Being stunned, my friends had to keep me walking and moving towards the office. Nothing happened to him. He never got in trouble for the things he did to me. He would follow me in the halls and walk all the way to where my bus was at the end of the day. His was at the other end of the lot. He screamed at one of my friends at lunch and then broke a table in rage. He continued to try and contact me over social media and had other people text me to let me know that he wanted to talk to me. I was in the school office multiple times a week. Then the pandemic hit and I basically went into hiding. I switched to online school the next year, but that's still not the end of it. On my birthday, he made a new Snapchat account with my name in it and once again tried to contact me. So many people let me know about this account and it literally ruined my birthday. Since then, there have been multiple small incidents, but I've really closed off my life to the public and any of the people who go to school with him. I'm doing much better now and have since gone to therapy for all of this. To my abusive piece of shit, psychotic ex-boyfriend, let's not ever meet again. I hate people! I genuinely don't understand how they didn't get into any trouble at all. Like nothing happened. They broke a table. Like at least if you're not gonna get in trouble for like the whole harassment thing, get in trouble for like breaking school property. I don't know. Like he got in trouble for nothing? That blows my mind. That is all I'm gonna read for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you have any stories that you want to share with me or the community, I will have my subreddit link down below. After I say goodbye, I'm gonna show you a couple things I got for Christmas just because I really want to show you guys. So if you want to stick around for that, you're more than welcome to. But I'm gonna go. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye. I have to go get all of it. I'll be right back. So two of my favorite things that I got. My sister had this made for me. Sorry, it's gonna be like kind of a glare. My sister had this made of all my kitties and I am obsessed with this. This is the cutest thing in the entire world. She got it on Etsy. A lot of my stuff is from Etsy. Like my sister and my friends love Etsy. And then Brittany got me this sweater with my dogs on it and it's so cute, the dog cute. I'm very excited to have this because as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, maybe you didn't watch the video where I talked about this, John and I broke up and I will no longer have the dogs after this next week. So this is amazing because it'll be a great memory of them. I'll still get pictures of them, like I'll still be able to see pictures and maybe FaceTime them and see the dogs. but I won't have them anymore, which really breaks my heart. It's been very hard. It's been very hard. But this will be a great memory of my puppies. I'm busy. And so I'm very happy about this. And she also sent me the actual image files so I can do like whatever I want with those pictures. My mom got me, okay, we do pajamas for Christmas every year. We do like Christmas Eve pajamas. And my mom got me a Jason onesie that like zips up all the way. It's like a Jason mask. It was the funniest thing. It's so cool. It's dirty and it's in my washing machine, so I can't show you. And then she also got me a Jason sweater, like a crew neck, but it got cat hair all over it, so it's in the wash, so I can't show you that one. I got this. So, okay, I'm not like a huge, like I let my hair air dry after I shower. I know you don't even know what it is, I just showed you the box, but whatever. I let my hair air dry after the shower, but I really wanted to try this because my sister was talking about it. It's like, it's not like the Dyson at all. I really want the Dyson, but it's like a blow drying brush. I don't know, I'm gonna try it and see if I like it. My hair is just really weird. Like my hair's not naturally straight, but it's not really curly either. So my hair's like a weird in between. It's just like poofy. So I'm gonna try this. And since I've been wearing my hair like kind of curled in, I thought like this would be nice because I could try to do it with this. So my sister got me this for Secret Santa. We do Secret Santa at my dad's house because there's a lot of us. And so we only have to get one gift instead of like trying to get like 12 people gifts. So we do Secret Santa, and yeah. My sister for Secret Santa also got me these like hair clips for doing my makeup and cat socks. Perfect. My mom gets us a stocking every year. So like she does like little things. Like I got these cute little slipper socks. She got me this shirt, which way to go, Mom. Mom has good taste. She was like, I saw this and it made me think of you. So way to go, Mom. And then she just gets us other little things. I'm not going to show you everything. She did get me this little Michael ornament. It's like a little Michael Santa ornament. So it's cute. It's so cute. Don't look at my nails. Do not look at my nails. She was like, oh yeah, I had a lot of fun shopping for your scary shit. She thinks I'm a weirdo. And then I got like soaps, and she got me this mug that says, I believe in Santa Paws. She said it made her really sad wrapping this because she knows the dogs were leaving. She also got the dogs TREATS, and she got the kitties toys, which was very nice. I'm not gonna show you everything because it's just a bunch of like little like candles and soaps and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, I just wanted to show you. I don't know, I like watching what people got for Christmas. Oh, I also got, okay, this is what I wanted to show you at the beginning of the video. My sister got me this like hardcore One Direction t-shirt. It's the funniest thing in the entire world. She got it on Etsy. I had a lot of people asking me because I posted this on my story. Had a lot of people asking. It's from Etsy. I don't know what she searched, but I'm sure if you just look up One Direction, you can find it or something similar. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you the like couple things that I got. But I think my absolute favorites are the puppy sweater, and then I can't get over this. She said she was scared to give me this because she thought it looked lame. And I was like, oh my God, I literally have it on display. I have a bookcase, like a bookshelf over there. And I'm like, I put it up there. Like, this is amazing. It's my kitties. Like, it's my cats. I have to put it on display. But she didn't want to give it to me. Or she did want to give it to me, but she thought I wouldn't like it, or she like thought I would think it was like dinky. But I love it. I really love it. And then my puppy sweater, I can't get over my puppy sweater. But that is all. I just wanted to show you guys, I don't know. I love watching people open things on Christmas, and like, I like seeing hauls like on TikTok. I love like seeing what people got. So let me know what you got for Christmas, if you celebrate it. And I wanted to say really quickly, I'm very grateful for everything that I get. I'm very grateful that I have a large family that I can celebrate Christmas with. I know not everybody has that. So if you were alone on the holidays, just know that I love you very much. I love you very, very, very much. And I'm very grateful for everything that I received. And I'm very grateful for my family. Now I'm gonna go. I'm really gonna go this time. I love you guys. See you. I forgot to show you. Brittany also got me this Michael planter. So I could put a little plant in here. It's Michael. It's the kit. Okay, now I'm done. I had to show you that. Now I'm done.